Morning, thanks. Want to come on up, Frank, and grab a microphone? Yay. I think we figured it out by now. This is a CLC moment. In case you don't remember, we do this every few weeks where we talk to a CLC hero.
Hello.
Yeah. And so we have Frank today, He's very dedicated. He was on an airplane this morning, right?
Yeah, I just landed like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So he's very dedicated. Thanks for making it. Can you tell us how you ended up at CLC in the very beginning and what keeps you here?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it actually goes back to 2016. I got invited by one of the former pastors here, who I'm pretty close with. I came for like one service in 2016, and then I didn't come back. But I think I actually went to a Holy Chow, and I think the people I met at the time was like Matt Ewan, Jordan, Lauren DC. I think she was back for a little bit. And then I decided to stay at my church at that time. And then fast forward in like 2018, I decided to kind of start checking out different churches. So I hit up On again. I asked them like, hey, looking for a small group, China Sid. And then he connected me with Jared and Quest at the time, actually. And then from there, I started going to that small group all the way till about October, give or take. And that's when I started transitioning over to CLC. And then I became a member like 3 months afterwards. What keeps me here? I think that's a good question because I think it's still I think I'm just in a very interesting season, so I'm kind of like still figuring it out. But at the time, it's like one of the big things is like just my heart for the ministry in this church. That kind of really just keeps me kind of going at this time.
Awesome. Thanks, Frank. And how were you originally drawn into serving with the AV ministry?
I know I answered this question with you beforehand, but I had to think about the question more, but is it before I came here or just like here in general?
Maybe like around the pandemic. I think you got more involved.
I mean,
How did that happen?
Yeah, for the people who don't know me, this is also kind of ties in with like my typical day job or like vocation and stuff. So always seeing a need for it. I think it's also fun for me to do it, especially for like sound and just like working with different people. It's just a unique space, and I mean that's how I also got connected with a few other folks here. So I think that's what really drew me to do it. And then I guess for the pandemic, I mean there was a real need for it. We never really streamed. I remember being in India with Caitlin, and I was like, oh man, they're streaming it the first service. And I'm talking to Jared on terrible internet and Tiff, and I was like, hold on, my internet's kind of breaking up, but what are you doing? How are you trying to do it? And just like kind of giving suggestions. And that's when I realized when I came back, I was like, okay, we're going to need to step it up a little bit to some degree, because I think it's just everyone else needed it too.
Yeah. Yes, you have a real gift to share during a time of need. And just couple more questions. There's a couple of other CLCers who serve alongside you now. Is there a need for more volunteers in the future?
I mean, it's always welcomed. I think specifically now that we kind of have our own building, the parameters or just the way we serve has changed a little bit. Also, it's a lot easier than doing an SDA now because we don't have to just break down stuff anymore, thank the Lord, and then find out where the key is for like the soundboard and everything. It's so much better. Like, I think the first week that we had a service here, I was like, all right, we done. And I just turned off like 3 buttons, and I was like, okay, we're done. I don't have to put stuff away. Or like now with live streaming, I don't have to write like 50 pages on how to start things up and then get questions asked even when I'm not here. So now it's just like one button instead of like asking me 50 questions now. They might come, but at least it's a lot easier now because we have our own space. We don't have to set things up over and over. So I think we're grateful for that, definitely. So I think with that transition change, I think it would be nice to have more help, especially as like things kind of get expansive, because I think we're still just running a lot of temporary stuff right now. So as we kind of solidify things and just put more permanent systems in place, we'll definitely would like to help.
Yeah. Any takers so far? Yeah. If so, talk to Frank. And last question, I like this bonus question. If you had one word to describe the CLC community, what would it be?
Food.
Food, okay. Great. Thanks, Frank, for
Yeah.
being here. Can we give him a round of applause?